So the last time I played Metal Gear Solid 4 was when it came out. I waited in line outside of GameStop with Dante, if you ever see him in chat, to buy a PlayStation 3. So I have one of the backwards compatible PS3s that can play PS2 games so that I could play MGS4. I played it once in 2008. I haven't played it since then. And I forgot about the saving of the HDD thing. Probably correct for the overall game experience that we leave this in there. I'm not going to split the VOD. But if you're watching this in the future, the original version of this game at least, and maybe future releases changed it, you have to save the whole game to the HDD several times. And I don't think it remembers my last save. So we'll probably be sitting here talk amongst yourselves mode for quite a bit of it. It was a very controversial decision by Kojima at that time. Like, that started to become popular. The Xbox 360 had a thing where you could optionally download a game and install it to the HDD to make load times faster. But it was a one-time thing. Yeah, it was pretty special. I don't think they got burned for it. I think this game's still a decent review on Metacritic, but... That makes sense. His name is lame. Other than the long hallway sequence and maybe one or two plot events, this game is effectively totally blind because I played it in such a blitz. I took off work and I just played it until I passed out, and then I woke up the next day and played it until I passed out, and then I was done with it after like 2 days. I may have called one of my friends to discuss it. Options... Yeah, I can stick with these later. Stuff doesn't matter right now. Metal Gear Online, it's probably been taken down by now, right? I doubt anyone's playing Metal Gear Solid 4 online. You had to rush it, Yukiko. I'm excited to play it again, because really, I can't even think of anything outside of the long hallway. I'm struggling to remember, and nothing's coming to me. New game. Naked Normal. Skilled at action games. Normal for Europe. What's the difference between solid normal and naked normal? Liquid easy. So we'll keep it on solid normal. It should be fine. Oh, like Twin Snakes? Alright, I can maybe save and back out to the briefing if we need to read it. Ready to install the game. This process will take approximately 2 minutes. Yeah, about that. I remember when this game came out and they decided to have Snake have the mustache. There may have even been a Penny Arcade comic about it. Like, you kind of look like a badass if you have a mustache like that in Japan, but you kind of look like a math teacher in the West. That may have even been the comic, wasn't it? No, it's going faster than I remember it. I remember this. I remember buying the game, buying the console, bringing it home and playing it, and getting to this Snake is smoking scene, and like being like, "Oh my god, I want to play this game. When is this gonna finish? Oh my god, when am I gonna play this game?" Yeah, try to find it. Oh, did they patch a way to install everything at once? I could look into it for next session. Yeah, there it is. If it was that fast when I first played it, then it felt like it was an eternity by comparison. This game, war has changed. It's like, you should go play Fallout, Snake. I think they disagree with you fundamentally. Which one is it? The games came out fairly close in time. When did Fallout 3 come out?
So, who is David Hayter? I'm...
Accomplished actor, screenwriter, voice of a generation.
I don't remember this.
Well,
Citizen
It's actually
of the
David Hayter.
yeah, well, I never...
Ripped from the comfortable childhood in Canada, thrown into the turbulent waters of adolescence in Kobe, Japan. How did you stay afloat?
You mean in high school? Well, my dad got transferred overseas, and it was a really excellent experience, actually. I was really grateful for it.
Grateful. What is your biggest secret, David?
Pardon me?
You can tell
Was this in the
us.
Japanese version?
Oh, well, it's not much of a secret, but I have a tattoo of Kobe behind my ear.
Tattoo, splendid.
Yeah, it's not terribly big.
What are you wearing?
What do you mean?
Why are you here?
Oh, well, I was hoping to promote my new movie. I'm just coming off of the set.
I have a vague memory of this.
Why?
This is so weird.
Here, wearing an eye patch.
Oh, the eye patch. This is pretty cool, actually. Gives me
Well, that's David Hayter,
real-time information.
Snake's voice actor.
And weather, traffic reports. Actually watching a baseball game as we speak.
Writer of X-Men and X-Men 2: The Last Stand.
Drives you? What are your dreams?
Well, I'd have to say my dream project.
Let your dreams drive you. Oh, a message of hope to today's young people from David Hayter.
I never actually said that.
That was really weird. I don't remember that in the game at all. I'm not entirely sure what Kojima's intent was, including that. Unless if there's more loading happening behind the screens and that's a way to hide it. Even then, though. I wonder how many people mentally deleted that sequence. I guess it's world building? Why is it David Hayter, though? I don't know. Welcome to Metal Gear Solid 4. Let's just set the stage for how fucking weird this is gonna be. War has become routine. Yeah, right? That's probably a good thing, Yukupo. Let's snap you out of that. Don't come in and think this isn't to be like MGS3. Even more of a cult of personality at that point. Flynn. Was Kim my guest? Was that Mei Ling? Phil Lamar. Vamp. Yeah, all the colors of the 2000s from yellow to brown. Dude, it's so satisfying.
Has changed.
To play, like Rhyme and Breath of the Wild and things are colorful again.
It's no longer about nations, ideologies, or ethnicity. It's an endless series of proxy battles fought by mercenaries and machines.
Definitely got gruffer.
And its consumption of life has become a well-oiled machine.
Yeah, I remember being blown away by this, because it was my first PS3 game.
War has changed. ID tag soldiers carry ID tagged weapons, use ID tag gear.
I remember hearing the Japanese version of that line. ID them.
Inside their bodies
ID them.
enhance and regulate their abilities. Genetic control, information control, motion control, battlefield control.
That's what I was saying, Kevin.
Everything is monitored.
I think that Fallout 3 came out around the same time, so it was interesting seeing my roommate play that and the opening being "War never changes."
The age of deterrence has become the age of control. All in the name of averting catastrophe from weapons of mass destruction. And he who controls the battlefield controls history. War has changed. When the battlefield is under total control, war becomes routine.
Cargo marbles. He had to have done something. He was already pretty gruff. Oh, there's like the scrapes on the camera, and like dust marks on the camera, but not in every scene. I love the story about Weird Al asking for permission to use that song. Holy shit, you can gain control of Snake fast in this game compared to every other game. That's crazy. This game still has a camo system? No shit. Wow, I really don't remember anything about this game, do I? I don't even know how it works. Okay, got rations, weapons, Japanese characters are back.
Okay, Snake, let's start with the basics. I'll provide instructions via code.
Let the world be.
Some of these controls are new, so it's best if you practice now before you
Say
get
philanthropy
back
in Japanese.
Listen carefully.
Makes
to my
sense for Otacon to
instructions
do
and then
that.
give it a try. I've also set your codec so that you.
Okay.
Snake, you should keep practicing.
Okay, thanks Otacon. Briefing. All looks fine. Worry about this other stuff later. Oh, they changed the save menu instead of having to call the save. Interesting. Wonder if that was a executive decision. Yeah. You still have CQC. Ready the knife with L1. Use the R1 to strike the blade in R2.
Use the crawl button to change your stance. What happens depends on whether you're moving or standing still.
Oh, that's cool.
It also depends on how.
Crouch walk. Should have let him talk longer. I didn't realize I was going to cut it. Sort of cutscene. Yeah, old Snake. Oh, Kojima, being cute. So they hinted at you being able to control your character. He wasn't done yet.
We're surrounded! Damn it, they've got us surrounded! We're being followed! Use the RPGs! Everyone, keep cool! Get a hold of
Cool. I like the transitions from cutscenes into gameplay. That's pretty neat. I got some ammo. No idea what that's for. That might have been what Six was talking about, where he was like, MGS3 has
To make
ammo.
a weapon available for use, ready it by selecting weapons from the menu screen.
So much for weapons being keyed. Yeah, depends, Snake. You can't save during cutscenes, right? Hey, Tentix. I don't remember any of this at all. I don't even remember the opening being in the Middle East. It's just to show you. Okay, that's cool. Someone shows up at the door or something. Pressing start won't like immediately skip the cutscene. I did it a couple times on accident.
Hit him hard!
Spent the last game playing Metal Gear Solid 3 so we could learn the basics of CQC. It's basically a big boss playthrough. I really am more than half blind. Can livestock breed on the battlefield? Crops grow on the battlefield?
Head north, and try not to run into any gecko along the way.
Gecko, okay. Rations, MRE, life and psyche. Spooky spooky. I like the little context sensitive things there, that's cool. No place to hide was the tagline. That sounds familiar, yeah. Oh, so they still have Harry Gregson Williams in this one. He just didn't do the theme again? I like how it's L1 in this one. Those times I was slightly on my side. I definitely don't remember the Metal Gears mooing. The theme had a copyright issue. Really? That's interesting. Also a bummer. There you go, there's your classic start of the game stance. It's a cool idea. You're too heavy to climb stairs. Engineers didn't think about that, did they? Oh wait, maybe they did. Shit. Was there a playable demo for this game? I didn't have a PS3 before it, so I wouldn't have. I did play the demo for Snake Eater. The scene seems familiar, though. I wonder if it was in a trailer or something, or like an E3 preview for the game. Yeah, right. cool. L1. All melons. And then you have, that's right, these Metal Gears poop. Fantastic. Why did I remember the pooping but not the mooing? Yeah, this must have been in an E3 trailer or something. I remember the melon. War has changed. They didn't used to be pooping, mooing robots the way war used to be. That makes it pretty fundamentally different. Love theme. Oh boy, right. He didn't write the lyrics for Snake Eater. He probably gave them some direction, but... That's true. "22 minutes in. Arrive 45 minutes early." This game's name is Konami now. Thank you for the saves prompt. I appreciate that. I do like the whole PS3, you know, you can have an arbitrarily high number of saves. They don't really require a lot of space. I thought they were going to do another system, like, HDD write scene there. Hey, that's how Snake Eater ended. Except now there was like 10 minutes in between. Well, like an hour in between. Yeah. Just in case you weren't clear about that. I remember beating Snake Eater and just like waiting, wanting more Metal Gear. In retrospect, I don't want more Metal Gear. It should end with Snake Eater. It's a good cap of the series. He's got this cool coat that still kind of looks like a lab coat.
Otacon, even the dead have ears.
Snake, we've got to go. You've got an old friend waiting for you.
Otacon, the test results.
Proteome analysis was positive, but the mRNA analysis turned up negative.
Right, he's old because he's a clone, so he has this like advanced
Wrinkled
aging
skin,
problem.
the hardened arteries. Your early aging symptoms look like classic Werner syndrome.
And we weren't sure about that
But none of the
when the
tests
game was
were able
first
to pinpoint
teased.
the cause.
So,
Well, judging by how rapidly the aging has progressed, I'd say
a year at best, right?
yeah. Snake, let's try another doctor.
Yeah, it's true,
It won't
Yukubo.
make any
It could be
difference.
bright green, right?
I'm not an ordinary man to begin with. Not to mention Fox die.
Yellow, brown, and bloom. Well, that's still the shitty MGS1 flashbacks.
You're right. But we don't know where Naomi
They didn't go back
is.
and update those. It's fantastic. It was the same in MGS2.
Naomi.
It was definitely interesting if you're playing so much MGS3 to like snap back to the MGS1, MGS2 universe.
Colonel,
Actual Colonel,
good to see you.
not a fucked up AI.
Well, I'm not a colonel anymore, Snake.
I figured the only place I'd see you dressed like that would be at your daughter's wedding. What are you doing these days?
I'm working for an organization under the UN Security Council.
Modern games are getting better
The
about it.
analysis and assessment staff of the PMC oversight and inspection.
It's like a lot of other trends.
Yeah,
It's
I
responding
remember
to
resolution
something.
being passed a few years ago.
Snake
I imagine it's going to move
came
in
across
waves.
some information in my
The new Battlefield's pretty colorful. Yeah,
We found him
I haven't played Black Ops 3, but I've seen
in the Middle
screenshots.
East.
What?
Really? Huh.
I'll explain along the way. We've got to stop him. Now. Before it's too late.
Liquid's made his move. We found him.
He's preparing to unleash his insurrection.
I missed the Liquid flashbacks.
Liquid.
Imagine it showed a
Lying
shitty
in wait.
PS1 picture
In the
of
Middle
Liquid.
Eastern war zone. Track him down.
And by Liquid, we mean Revolver Ocelot with a spooky ghost arm. Let's all be on the same page here. I remember the Vici Cats comic back when we were in the middle of the Brown and Bloom phase. Let me see if I can find it.
Only 2 eggs today? Solidus must have taken the day off. 7, 8, 9, 2, 5, 9, 0, 3, 6, 0, 1,
I don't remember this either.
5, 3, 0, 5,
0118. Yeah, there is a random early screenshot he done where there was a waterfall that had a rainbow in it, and people went fucking berserk, pissed off about it. That's why they added Whimsyshire. But there was also a pretty funny t-shirt that Jay Wilson was wearing. See if I can find it. Liquid Sun, Act 1. He was wearing this in response to the outrage. Apologies for the Gawker image link. It's a direct link. I think it ended up influencing a bunch of other games from that era.
What's the situation?
I'm just inside the city limits. This place is crawling with lizards.
Ah, AT Corps' unmanned bipedal weapons. Officially designated Irving by the U.S. military. They've
Thanks,
spread like
Otacon.
wildfire
I
among the
needed to know that.
PMCs. There are more of those things now in service than tanks. They've got tough armor plating and are highly agile to boot. Your best bet is to stay out of their sights.
Unmanned. Pretty soon they'll have put living,
Unmanned.
breathing soldiers out of work.
That was
Even so,
2007.
that's an awful lot of gecko for this scenario. Their numbers exceed the war price for that region. It must have something to do with Liquid's arrival on the scene.
You really think he's here?
You'll have to find the Army's operatives and ask them yourself. Oh, and Snake, I went ahead and used the Mark II to scout out the area before your arrival.
Nice,
You'll find it
C10.
up ahead.
It's a good one.
Mark II.
It's a remote mobile terminal. Sonny and I built it. The Mark II will provide you with a map of the area as well as any battle situation data. You
Yeah.
should find it
I
before you
mean,
do anything
Bloom
else.
very
Okay,
poorly used in
got
the
it.
worst area of
The
Dark
rendezvous
Souls
point is
1.
marked on
Right?
your map. I'll be waiting for you there.
Otherwise, I mean, it was already a pretty bad area without the Bloom problem, but kind of hurts my eyes to play in that area. Octo Camo. Advanced camouflage suit inspired by the mimicry ability of the octopus. If the wearer lies still or doesn't move when pressed up against a wall, the suit can imitate the color and texture of the wall and ground surfaces. That sounds familiar. Oh, fooling infrared sensors, huh? That's cool. I totally forgot about that. That's a cool evolution of the camo system in MGS3. So is that an objective marker at the top, the little red indicator? Or is that just indicating true north? Frickin' bloom on the battlefield. This game's not so bad about the bloom so far. Praying Mantis is like a private military company, I think. Ready the knife with L1, R2 to zap. She's wearing a full face mask. Oh, that's cool. Then. Let's see the camera pattern. Oh yeah, it's this like little threat meter thing in lieu of the Soliton radar, right? I remember this thing now.
Avoid unnecessary combat whenever possible. In this war, neither side is your enemy. There's no point whatsoever in you getting into a fight. Got it?
And okay, I think I'm remembering this now. Okay, when the PlayStation 3 came out, Sony made this big deal about how they were getting rid of vibration, right? They were like, oh, vibration's a thing of the past. We have this cool 6-axis technology now. And everyone's like, dude, 6-axis is dumb. And Hideo Kojima got really pissed about it, if I remember correctly, because he like championed the use of vibration. So I think that like circle thing around him was in response to not having any vibration in the game. I don't know if they ever like patched some of that stuff in. Mostly like sword joints and bruises. Sure, Psyche. Yeah, I mean they still make some weird decisions, but it's definitely one of them. So I think he wanted to communicate some of this with vibration and couldn't. But it's like a danger sense, basically. And you only see it when you're crouching or crawling. Right. Yeah, I talk about that a lot in that the Final Fantasy XIV documentary too. That like Square was really cocky and arrogant after being dominant in the PS2 era. Lots of hubris.
Please don't shoot!
Camo briefly went up higher than like 90%. He said please. How does making noise work in this game? You just have to press the analog stick gently instead of using the D-pad.
You can pick up guns dropped by both the militia and the PMCs. Remember though, PMC weapons are locked. You can't use them.
Okay.
If only there was some way to get rid of the locks.
That's cool. Oh, and the charge keeps you from spamming it, I guess. Right on. If only. That's never going to become possible. Like they keep that same angle for opening the lockers. Tasty beverage with rejuvenating properties. Okay. Okie Now, there's a delay for the camo to take effect. Like, am I actually penalized when Snake is a fully different color? Am I more visible? Or is that just to look cool?
Snake, press the crawl button while running to execute a roll. Rolling can help you dodge enemy attacks and get past small gaps and obstacles.
Let's go this way. Camo percentage works basically the same as Snake Eater, right? Like, if you can generally expect they wouldn't see you from a certain distance in Snake Eater, they probably can't see you from that same distance in MGS4. I forgot the difference in the AI in this game overall. Oh, that's funny. Creepy. You didn't see shit, bud. Oh, did I not have my whoops? I didn't have my thing out. I was like, why am I not hitting him? It's a bummer. It's the enemy. It's an enemy. Bummer. Try to not put it away for no reason next time. Playboy. Did they get the rights to Playboy? It's funny. So I have to manually equip it, right? Is there a reason to have things that weigh less? Like, did it affect your psyche drain or something? A license for adult magazines. Way to go, Metal Gear Solid. Was that an actual sound that might have alerted guards there? Actually not sure who just saw me. Just your imagination. Don't you know it? Yeah, he has a lot of these cool little ideas, like eating in MGS3, but it's so trivial to do that you don't even really have to worry about it at all. Interesting. Girls from 18 to 80. Yeah, Betty White. Oh, that's cool, you slowly regenerate health. Hanging mode. Oh, that's interesting. I forget how that works. Like why you'd want to be on your back like that. Keep exploring. I feel like it's correct to crawl through a lot of this game, since that's what triggers the little danger sense. Helps a lot with your overall camo, with how open the level design is in general. Yeah, right, you could. He has to hold his back occasionally, you know? What did they just find?
What? This is HQ. What's the enemy?
Shit. Ow, dick.
Acknowledged. Sending reinforcements.
How do I... Can I CQC like I could before? I don't remember how it works in this game. I'm gonna dive trying to find out here. Get the button. Okay. Oh, that makes sense. That's your own grenade, asshole. It's not the old button. I'm trying to find the CQC button here.
Snake, are you all right?
The flashbacks, the death scene. I should figure out how to CQC before I get into another battle like that. It's a shoulder button? Okay, interesting. Oh wow, that's pretty far back. Bummer. Alright, also I should know that the camo's not quite as good as it was in
Rolling can help you dodge enemy
MGS3.
attacks
So
and
if
get
they're right
past
in front of
small
you and you're
gaps and
85%,
obstacles.
they can totally see you. They're much smarter than they were before. Just remember that there was CQC. Yeah, so I can stab, and I can stun knife, but I can't, like, do the little slam button, right? Let me see if it's in that briefing menu, 1 second. Briefing. CQC grab. Press and hold R1 near the target to grab them and pull them towards you. Oh, does that not do first-person view anymore? Oh, that's weird. Okay. That's why I was having problems. Gotcha. Roger, roger. Let me get that Playboy again. Grab battle. Right. Huh? Action. Alright, let's try this again. Pretty sure there's a guard somewhere out in the street. I'm gonna be careful. Totally a guard somewhere right out in the street. Maybe they're better at spotting you if caution's active or something, like they know to look more closely. Can you still interrogate in this game as well?
Huh?
Alright. If you press and hold, you slam. I didn't mean to actually wake him up. Let's not do that. You need to read a little more closely. So, let's see. CQC throw. Press the left stick. So you press R1 without moving the stick, I guess, is how you grab them without slamming them. Good to know. I guess the guy I knocked out earlier must have woken up and triggered the caution mode last time. I wonder how many of these enemies are just moving around constantly, and like how many of them are changing their spawning rules based on where I am at the time. It'd be cool if they like dynamically spawn only when I reach a certain point, or if they're actually walking around the level if I'm taking the earlier parts of the level too slowly, you know? Nothing to see here. Move along.
This is HQ.
Who's being attacked?
Sending reinforcements. Use extra caution.
Extra caution hype. There's a dude right. Fuck. There's so many guards in this one. They must have found that guard I knocked out earlier. Okay. He's just knocked out. It's fine. They're paying us by the hour here. Oh, that's cool, sir. We made it a particularly long time there without a cutscene. Oh, that's cool. So my old camo going into here carries over to the cutscene. Huh. I don't know if I remember this thing. Oh, it's Otacon.
Snake, it's me.
Huh? Otacon.
Sorry to keep you waiting, Snake. Allow me to introduce Metal Gear Mark II.
Sorry to keep you waiting.
Metal Gear.
That's right. Just like Rex.
Yep, it reminds me of the old Metal Gear.
It's a remote mobile terminal designed to provide you with operational support.
Blitzball, awaken the crystals, sailors, Mandi, the language of Chinese,
Black car,
Metal Gear.
To name it anything other than that, right?
Through the Mark II.
Wish I was good with gadgets.
Hey, I'll be with you.
Oh, you can shake the controller? Oh, that's cool, He-10.
Because you had to dress up as a militia.
That's very
I had the
Kojima.
Mark II bring you some goodies. Starting with this. Put it on your left eye.
Looks like an eye patch.
I call it the Solid Eye. It's an all-purpose goggle that displays radar images and other data in 3D.
It's cool.
You can also switch it over to light-amplifying night vision.
Does it have thermo goggles? Because those are always helpful.
The rebels are out there.
It looks like they've got the government's PMC.
It would make more sense for it to be on both of his eyes, but
And this is their home turf.
definitely like a
Snake.
style
I know
over
this is a
substance.
sneaking mission, but you'll need to protect yourself.
Oh, jeez, Leon. That's awful. Sorry. You gonna nerd out like Naked Snake?
An operator.
I installed a suppressor. And here's a tranquilizer gun.
Hooray!
How thoughtful.
It predates the implementation of the system. By some miracle, it was never recycled.
The system.
It's getting tough these days finding decent guns that aren't controlled.
God, what kind of other missions would Snake do? I love that they had that line at the end of MGS3, like, we could make an entire unit of people that go on our private secret
I'll follow
sneaking
you wherever
missions.
You go, like this. I'll activate stealth so it doesn't attract any attention.
I don't think the
If you
government
need it, just
has a
bring up the
department
start
that's
button menu.
devoted to sneaking
Got it.
missions.
Snake, the informants who said they saw liquid here should be a little further up. Head for the rendezvous point. I
Nicely
placed a
on.
mark on the radar in the upper right corner of the Solid Eye. It's a war zone out there. Stay on your toes.
Can I get the stealth camouflage, please? Please? Anesthetic rounds. All-purpose goggle combines the function of several optical devices, supplies wearer with a variety of tactical data. Organization to which a soldier or a tech field belongs to is displayed in colored text. That's cool. Enable manual control, useful for sending the gadget in Snake's place.
Snake, it's kind of a schlep, but I've sent you data on an alternate route. Follow the mark on your radar.
Okay.
Charge! Go, go, go!
They're very sneaky. Interesting that they have you play without this mechanic earlier on. I usually appreciate it more once you get it. Oh god, new combat mechanics. Alright, it's gonna take me a while to get used to. Nothing to see here, guy. The guy next to you didn't just totally fall down. I'm good showing everything being locked. That's cool. Yeah. So, I got a surfboard as well, and I'm able to use it, but the problem is whenever I have any kinds of issues at all, whenever I call customer support, and this is even with Comcast Business, they always default to assuming it's my modem's problem and we'll move forward with any other solutions. Because they can just say, oh, well, it might be your modem, so we shouldn't have to try to fix it. We can pick up their gun if they don't have access to it anymore. That would be pretty cool. So I'm paying the frickin' $10 a month rental fee for Comcast modem. The guy was like, can I just buy it from you guys, please? Like, can I even buy the same model? And I had someone who's really straight with me and said, no, if you buy your own one, even if it's the same model, like, you can always default to saying that it's a problem with your hardware, since we don't own it. Oh my god. I hate you so much. Missile launcher. Auto PG this. These guys are on my side? Is that how it works?
Let's go.
Okay, follow up on Galaxy. Oh, you can't tactical reload in this game anymore, can you? Hmm. That's good, Liam.
It's pretty dark in there. Switch the solid eye to night vision mode.
So, red enemies are obviously, or red soldiers are obviously enemies. Are green enemies as well, or is it just blue that are good guys? It's dark for long. Just want me to know that I can use it. Shit. Rations, always a treat. Green soldiers don't know who I am, but I assume I'm on their side. Okay, so they won't, like, trigger an alert or attack me. And that allegiance can change based on whether you fight them or not, right? Something like that. It's the frenemy. So sleepy. Hopefully I can get a ton of ammo for this thing. Is there a way to... I can't tactical reload, but can I reload this thing early, and do I lose ammo if I do that? Build up your social link. It's pretty close to a social link, isn't it? Definitely not dissimilar. There's a reload button. And I don't waste ammo when I do that, if I reload early. Yeah, it's gonna take me a long time to get used to the mechanics.
Hey, they need reinforcements up top. You ready to roll? Yeah, I'm good. Great, let's go. Right behind you.
Nothing to see here. After them not changing anything for the longest time, right? You're having a bad day in there. Pistol. Yeah, right. He doesn't get that whole cutscene from Eva, which is probably good that he knows the truth, but maybe Eva having that cutscene at the end is really bad for Solid Snake as a whole. Oh, I just did fake death by accident, I think. I don't know, I pressed some button.
Hang in there.
It's me. We're friends.
What? It's the enemy.
Shit, I'm sorry. Is it because I moved? Alright. How would I be friends with him there? Because I wanted to be friends with him. I didn't want to hurt him. I thought I stood still and put my weapon away long enough that he would chill out. Do I have to like press a button to say, hey, what's up? iPod music? God. Chima verbalized the song's beat as Tara during development. Interesting. The militia will remember that. Do they remember it less badly, I guess, if I don't kill them? I love that they got the rights for it to be an actual iPod. It's so unnecessary. And you have to spin the right stick to pick stuff? Oh, that's extremely silly. And you have to press in the stick. Wow. What a goof. Sergei Mantis. There's podcasts in here? No way.
And now, Metal Gear Solid 4 Integral Podcast.
Recorded at Konami HQ in downtown Tokyo, this is your host, Ryan Payton, for the exclusive in-game broadcast of
Never getting re-released.
Metal Gear Solid 4 Integral Podcast.
Welcome to the first ever Metal Gear Solid 4 Integral Podcast.
We don't need to listen to the podcast, that's fine. Wow. They fall down in a more realistic manner now, which is nice.
Anybody there? What's going on?
Nothing to see here. Move along.
Come on, wake up! What kind of hostile here?
No hostiles. Nothing to worry about. Everything's fine. How are you? Mostly cutscenes in this case. I think the game itself is still about 2.5 hours long if you skip all the cutscenes. There was still a dude in there, wasn't there?
We're under attack!
Can't pop to the side in this one. There we go. Hey, it's cardboard box.
What? What's going on?
Good way to draw your attention over here, right?
There is? Okay, let's go. Follow me.
Some of these enemies, their pathing has to trigger when you get you get close to them, right? Okay. Oh, disguise. Middle Eastern militia disguise. Let me check that out. Camouflage. I see. Mission support. Huh, I thought I would have seen it in here. How does the disguise work? If it's somewhere else, maybe? It wouldn't be under weapons. It's under camo. Oh, I see. Change costume. The one you start with probably doesn't actually help. Let me save because we haven't in a while. And I'm not so much sneaking. I had gotten really into Metal Gear by the time this game came out, so I'm pretty sure when I first played it, I insisted on trying to beat it without alerts. And I don't know if I actually ended up doing that or gave up at some point just because there's so many more guards. It's harder to, like, parse the level layout. Lock your guns for you. Let me get the locks off.
Hey! Wake up!
Dude, I've gotten so used to being able to, like, pop up and down. It's such a busted mechanic, and I can't do it anymore.
We're under attack!
Okay, that's better. Try to do more of that going forward. Why is that, Serp? shit. Alright, here we go. Right. If I did a no alert playthrough, it was through constant reloading. Like, it was not fun. Pretty sure I gave up partway into the beginning of the game. I probably would have remembered it better if I did no alerts all the way through, because then I would have had to reload each area over and over. But yeah. Patriots. Metal Gear Solid 2. This is a video game and you are the main character. Metal Gear Solid 4. Getting old? Hideo Kojima's metaphor for being done with the series, but not done? I have you, Drebin. Okay. Roger. I do not remember
Pretty sweet, huh?
beer drinking monkey.
Whoa, hold it. Watch where you pointing that thing.
No, it's not the monkey talking.
Who are you?
Neither enemy nor friend.
I was just like a merchant or something.
Voila.
You're not with the militia, and you're not PMC.
I'm a weapons wholesaler. All shapes, all sizes. But
What are
there's
you
no
buying?
need to worry, because all my shit's been laundered.
Laundered.
Laundered. Sorry, do you hear it constantly, Heaton, or only when I'm speaking?
You see, I take ID guns like the
Try to
PMCs use and make some mods.
Edit it out 1 second. It's the
Then
PS3
you can
fan.
use them without having to match IDs. In other words, I'm a gun launderer. You can call me Drebin.
Drebin.
Yeah, they use that for all of us.
There are more of you.
All over the world.
I
Not
don't know if that
I've
helps
met
without making
any
me too
person.
robotic. My PS3 is super
Drebin
old and
number
it's struggling.
893.
If that didn't fix it, I have other things I
You
can
ain't
try.
a registered PMC employee, are you? You need a guy like
Cool.
me.
I might sound a little robotic, but probably preferable to the fan noise.
Consider it a welcome gift. Take it.
The music for this
the
guy.
M4, the official carbine model used by the U.S. Army, developed from the M16 service rifle. This one's a top-of-the-line model, real popular with the big PMCs. High precision, not like that government issue shit. It's
Cool, I'll keep this as my setting for now then.
Relax, that barrel's clean.
I have software that's removing all the background noise from my voice, but it attenuates too far. It makes me sound like a robot.
Customizable parts. Change it up the way you want to meet your everyday needs.
Can you get it to auto-fire tranquilizer darts
Not bad.
and be,
You know, I get a lot of news.
silenced?
And if you need them, I got a wide selection of aftermarket parts as well.
The frame's pretty rigid. No rattle.
Go ahead.
Guess when Solid Snake played Snake Eater, he picked up Naked Snake's, like,
You pull the trigger.
gun nerder.
That's weird.
What's weird?
Wait, I got it. I bet you're using an older generation of nanomachines.
Older generation.
Sometimes they don't really
Older
track with the
generation?
system.
Seriously, who are you?
Whoa. Slow down.
I feel like I didn't notice the repeating the noun they just said thing quite as much in Snake Eater. You're a beautiful treasure.
My day job's working at AT Security.
Rapid fire heat-seeking trank darts. Knockout Metal
So I get
Gears.
my hands on all the ID chips before they even register.
Cows are sleepy.
Have a sip. It's a side of AT the public don't see. From the looks of it, you ain't with any state army.
What? What tells you that?
Ain't exactly green, neither.
I don't know. Camo pants and like the suit jacket don't go too well together.
Former U.S. Army. I don't know what you're here for, but you want to be well equipped, am I right? So, can we talk business or what? You won't regret it.
What's your take on him, Otacon?
I don't particularly like the guy, but it looks like we'll need his help with those ID guns. Sonny's been doing a little sleuthing for us. Drebin, a well-known gun launderer in war economy circles.
Good thing he hangs out like literally on the battlefield.
Black market firearms.
Could have had him in like a
small
hologram or
PMCs,
something.
Local militia, Somalia, the Balkans, Lebanon, Darfur.
Guy really gets around. Oh, that's what it says.
Peru, the Punjab, Kashmir, Colombia. This guy really gets around.
How's he pull it off, anyway?
Hideo Kojima googled war-torn zones.
By replacing the ID recognition chip with a counterfeit version. This enables you to bypass the ID recognition process and use the gun. The problem is that there's still a record of the chip being replaced on the system side. Drebin's an employee of AT Security. He must have connections on the inside erasing records for him.
Yeah, that's a good point, Yukiko. I guess maybe the stealth camo is really expensive or something.
If the Patriots were running the system from behind the scenes, then a weasel like Drebin would be a real pain in their collective ass.
Yeah.
Can he be trusted?
I'm in Middle East Zibar land.
Drebin's a green collar. He makes his living off the war economy. He doesn't let emotions get in the way of business, and he never gets his own hands dirty. The only thing he trusts is money. I share your concern, but what if we keep him at arm's length? Use him only to get intel and the supplies we need. Keep it strictly business.
All right.
Strictly business.
So, we ready to make a deal?
This guy's crouching silently in the corner for a couple minutes there. This is a normal part of everyday interactions in the Metal Gear universe.
There's product coming in here by the truckload. And you'll be
Sometimes you just gotta squat silently for 5 minutes before making a decision. It's their equivalent of sleeping on it.
I'll take and buy them off.
Should have done that with our real estate agent.
Points you can cash in for services.
Like what?
I'll launder your ID guns. No more locks. And I can also sell you the guns I've got in stock. Let me show you.
Points? Professor Land Funbucks. That seems excessive. Just get a fridge, man. Doesn't need to be a vending machine.
To ensure you can use non-ID guns, I'm gonna have to suppress the old nanomachines you got in you.
Will that fix my fox die?
Otherwise, they'll interfere with the system.
Oh, great.
Here, stick yourself with this. It's full of suppressor nanomachines. Relax, it won't hurt. You're scared of needles or something?
No, I just don't like being injected by a stranger. Jatternark.
See? No sweat. Now you can use non-ID guns, no problem. Hey, be nice to our guest.
You gotta get nanomachines to suppress the nanomachine suppressants. Gets pretty crazy. That was unnecessary, Snake. He really just wonders how does it taste.
There you see? No problem.
Oh, I didn't notice it drained the psyche last time when we tried it. That's cool.
You just let me know. You name it, I can launder it. Of course, it'll cost you. The going rate depends on the war price at the time.
You're a beautiful treasure.
Man, I gotta give this shit a rest.
Looks like you're doing pretty well for yourself.
You might say that. What with the war economy and all.
Yes, kitties, I know.
System clamping down on things. System codes are the law now, and control's essentially absolute, paving the way for fat profits if you're willing to bend the law.
Every character has to refer to the new technology. Hey Sornus, how you doing?
I sell ID guns to the
You can listen to music on your iPod to get Psyche back? Oh, that's cool,
guns
Matt.
to terrorist groups and paramilitary. And these ID guns can't be sold.
Kojima's such a weird dude, man.
System's practically a license for us.
What is gonna happen with that Death Stranding game? If you guys didn't see the Death Stranding trailer before and this is your first time watching Metal Gear Solid, Google it. It's his new game. I don't know what the fuck is going on, but maybe he does best in that world. Largely cosmetic.
Sooner or later, the whole damn human race is gonna be green collars.
Middlemen?
We're all gonna be fighting proxy wars.
I had a merchant monologue on me before.
But hey, this war economy puts the food on my table. You're a green collar too, aren't you?
I hear you, Sornus.
Yeah, it's in your eyes. You've seen a lot of combat.
Oh, I think we're getting Thai food tonight.
Nothing to be ashamed
That
of.
Penang curry.
I'm the same way.
Double Thai hot.
I grew up here too.
Andrea gets mad at me when I ask for that. Like, server comes and says, "What level hot do you want?" I'll be like,
All right then.
"Double Thai hot." I'm just doing you're interrupting their script. You're introducing. They have an expectation. Mild, medium, hot, or Thai hot. Don't say something that's not a thing. I want it to be super hot. I have you too, buddy. Drebin seems nice. Oh, fair enough, Matt. Yeah, right, Eco. Andrea is right, though. I'm really bad at interrupting people's scripts. I remember reading a Wikipedia article about this some time ago. It's a notion of a psychological interrupt that you tend to operate on like muscle memory and the mental equivalent of muscle memory most of the time. And it's really easy for you to get fucked up by something that even throws you slightly off
I know
track.
what you're thinking, but Drebin does have a point. The world depends on war, on the war economy. Can you imagine what would happen if war just disappeared overnight?
Otacon.
Marty, are you okay?
and Drebin both mentioned something about a war price earlier. What did you mean by that?
It's a kind of market price, one that fluctuates according to demand, not only for PMCs and military industry,
Kitties?
but for the production, distribution, and energy supply networks that support them. It's been growing by leaps and bounds, and investors are really starting to take notice. As the fighting in any given area becomes increasingly intense and prolonged, the war price goes up. No doubt Drebin's rates are linked to that war price. The longer and bloodier a battle becomes, the higher service prices are going to get. To put it another way, the quieter things are, the better the bargains. Snake, we'll use the Mark II to deal with Drebin from here on out. He's what you might call a street vendor. The Mark II can act as a kind of delivery boy and connect you with him. I'm adding a Drebin menu item to
Marty
the Mark
was just
II's weapon.
sitting outside the room
Whenever you pick
meowing,
up
begging for
multiple
food.
units of the
Thought
same
something was
weapon,
up.
any extras will automatically be
Ben's a
sold
bad
to Drebin.
influence on him.
Any ammo that's inside gets added to your cache. In other words, you keep
What's
ammo,
the
and
TLDR of
weapon itself
that
gets traded to
codec
Drebin
call?
for points.
I get points if I sell stuff to
You can then
Drebin?
use the points you've earned to unlock ID guns
Yeah,
or buy new
Otacon, you
weapons.
just explained that to me.
Sounds good.
We should assume
They've never
Drebin has
eaten
other
before.
agents collecting guns
They have
for
only
besides
ancient
you.
legends to go on
You
what
know,
food is like.
freelance green collars who collect weapons in exchange for services.
Guess I'll have to rely on him for now.
Okay, now go meet up with our informants, Rat Patrol.
Rat Patrol. M4 Custom. He explains supply and demand. Great bargains at Drebin shop every Wednesday and Sunday? No shit. That's based on, like, the actual day of the week I'm playing? Okay. Look at all these guns I'm not going to use. 48,000 Drebin points for Mosin Nagant. Scanning plug. That is not what I thought that was going to say. What does the scanning plug let you do? That seems somewhat familiar. We're gonna get a suppressor, we're gonna dot sight a lot of this stuff. 4. Snake being spotted will tank the war economy. At least I can always buy more ammo from this guy, that's nice. Wait to do it later. Where do I sell shit? Or do I just automatically sell extra copies of guns that I've already found? Is that what he was just explaining?
Snake, hurry and get to the rendezvous point with our informants. First, you'll have to get to the other side of that collapsed building.
It shoots tranq rounds in Snake Eater. They're just referencing back to Snake Eater. It's the tranq rifle that the end uses. Some line about him modifying it for that purpose. Duplicates are automatically sold. Okay. So I gotta farm guards for Drebin points. It's the end's actual rifle, and that's why it's so expensive. Petro bomb. Huh, okay. We'll see if I might not stay non-lethal in this playthrough. I usually try to go non-lethal, but they added so many cool guns and stuff in this one. Apparently a super reliable weapon, like... heard this in other sources that people still like the Mosin Nagant today. I use the hanging mode. That's plaything. Okay. Nice. Go for a good ranked. Gotcha. Not that I would actually want to farm. Oh, dot sight. Neat. Let me get rid of the shit I'm not going to use. I guess I can keep this one. Nice.
Careful, Snake. The walls could come down any second.
Oh, that's cool. All the rations. Alright, full on rations. Turn this thing off a little bit. Dirty camera effect. Interesting idea. Only occurs at certain points during the game, too. Is there a movie that really popularized, like, having a dirty camera for more realism?
We've been spotted! Return fire!
Guessing I don't get to be friends with those guys again, since I already pissed them off once. Yeah. Green doesn't know whether to fight me yet, right? There we go. I think I can crawl out of there, right? There's another way out of here. Yeah, here we go. Whoa. Gnarly. What do we got over here? More ammo. Shit. Oh, I can stay in the hanging mode for a second. Probably could have also sidled along that thing. Sidle is like riposte. Every time I say the word, I feel like I'm saying it wrong. I remember watching Overboard Gaming one time, and it was funny. Dag was trying really, really hard not to have to say riposte because he wasn't sure which pronunciation was right. Be like, and then you use the counterattack. Totally been in the same boat. I think I've googled it a couple times, but I'm never entirely sure if it's riposte or riposte. Post is first. Webster. Oh, they're both valid. Okay. Nice, Leon. That's a treat. Oh, Johnny's in this game. I didn't remember that.
Who's there?
Go away! I'm not done yet!
Don't climb! Can you imagine him climbing into that barrel? Oh, gross. That's not how barrels work.
Stop! Stop right there! No! Get back here!
That blatant fan service. I want to use this shit barrel. Not as cute as the little Big Boss smile when he sees hide inside the oil drum. They put the little box there too at the same time. Let me use this shit barrel for the rest of the game.
Snake. Hurry to the rendezvous.
That didn't work.
Your radar is marked with which way to go.
Yeah. Yes. Holy shit, thanks to whoever sniped that guy. Car camo. You can roll around in the drum until you puke. It's goofy. It was interesting, like, the game didn't tell me that the shoot button had moved to R1, but for some reason I just started doing that, so I don't know if I actually remembered this game, or that's just how modern shooters control. Shit. Nothing to see here. Village you can kind of CQC from behind cover if you're smart about it. Well, not like that. That's when you press the MGS3 CPC button. Yeah, come here, bud. Come here. Corner. You know you want to. It's end badly for you. There we go. Kojima is a beautiful treasure. He's a special person. That solid eye back. Hey, Tasmine. Motion sickness. Let's deal with the stress meter. Might have been that sniper guy that saved the day earlier.
Let's get out of here.
These guys aren't friendly. Snipers aren't friendly either. Okay. Good way to convey that I should be careful in this area. Shit. Damn it. Oh, people coming from behind. Nothing to see here. Move along. Oh, shit. Got that guy killed by saying hands up. He was really spooked hearing a guy say hands up with a gun pointing at him from under this thing. Wow. Alright. Psychologically manipulate enemies. Interesting. Jeez. Snipers are wrecking the face. There we go. I feel like I pissed off the militia really early on. I don't have any way to stop it now, unfortunately. Hey, now that guy's my friend. Come on, pop your head out. You know you want to.
Nice one.
Alright, so that guy's my friend now. Because he saw me shoot this other dude. He's not gonna get all pissy at me anymore.
What's going on? Hey.
Oh, it's you. Just trying to loot. Nothing to see here.
Wake up.
Everything's fine.
You okay?
Okay, so he went from yellow to red, I think. Even when I tranked him. So it's like they magically know that someone's trying to kill them or something like that. I'm not actually clear on how it works. Sometimes my camo indicator will turn blue. What does that mean? It doesn't happen all the time. And motion darts. Huh. Hey, Six Gun. How you doing? Yeah, it seems like there's a lot of systems and a lot of ideas, which is pretty standard Kojima, right? He's got a lot of ideas he doesn't fully deliver on. Okay, so the colored square is their allegiance, not their ally status. Their ally status is the color of their name. Am I getting that right? So, like, these guys don't have red names, so they're okay with me. Not super clear on most of these shots are coming from right now. Those guys won't aggro me right now because they saw me fight their enemies. Gotcha. Yeah, lack of space to settle in and enjoy the systems. I can hear that. I mean, they're not okay. Right. Maybe the blue camo is having some kind of, like, circumstance bonus, like being in shadow or something. Ooh, it's shooting all this shit all over the place. That guy's not a friend, for example. It might be better to play this in, like, Cold War Judo mode and just rush through it and body slam everybody. We'll see. I don't remember how the level design evolves, if it's similar to this. Big open urban environments, hard to tell friend from foe. I think that's definitely the intended feel. Hey, 95%. Fantastic. Oh, so I just got shot by crossfire?
PMC airstrike.
That seems bad. Thanks, Otacon.
It's got a lot of other functions as well. Try taking it for a
Snake using a little PlayStation controller to control it? That's right. But they can see it, right? It doesn't, like, automatically use stealth camo. Not a robot! Both of them seeing the robot triggers the alert. Perfect. Is there any way to, like, pop up like you could in Metal Gear Solid 1, 2, and 3? Like, it used to be if you held two shoulder buttons, you could pop up, you could pop left, or pop right. But I don't think that's a mechanic anymore, is it? Oh, God, stop backseating. Right. Use the bad PMCs, the ones who aren't my friend right now. Yeah, the tagline was "No place to hide." And, like, not all the guards care about fighting you. They kind of got their own thing going on. Those guys are not enemies at the moment, because I fought their enemies. All these dudes over here are gonna be fine with me, right? Hey guys, we're friends now. Please don't attack me. I'm gonna loot all of your bodies, but I need Drebin points. That's also a friend, although just barely. Crossfire. You get caught up in the super dark theme for a kid's board game. Bunch of fictional PMCs, right? This idea is that they're in the future and there's this like total battlefield control thing, the consequence of Metal Gear Solid 2, where they're basically able to treat all of the soldiers as chess pieces. They have perfect information about every soldier down to their vital signs and what they can see and what they can hear. And that war is just like even more routine than it is now. Right. War advances to the point where it doesn't matter who's fighting or why, they're just fighting to fight. Yes, Marty, I know. Crossfire is way less cool than the commercials were. Yeah, right. It's so absurd. Just go put people to sleep in an active war zone. I know, it's still pending approval. I keep refreshing every now and then to see if it's available. They got like 10,000 plus affiliates all submitting emotes at once. I will update as soon as I see that little lock icon go away. I'm looking forward to it. It's kind of a nice callback to Big Boss's big thing of like being mad that soldiers are just tools and having this whole, you know, warrior king and priest who would win, forced to make a decision type conversation. The soldiers should just make their own country with blackjack and hookers. Otherwise, we're going to continue to be tools of the governments. That's what happens to the boss. I don't think I can actually clear this, can I? What the hell is that thing? Doesn't seem good, whatever it is. Is it going to blow up in my face if I crawl over it? That's a good question. Sleep gas mine. Oh, that's cool. Oh, that's actually super cool. For non-lethal. Right on. Cigarette spray. Otherwise you're just a bandit. Basically brings all these mercenaries together with no national loyalty. Yeah, Snake spent the time between Metal Gear Solid 2 and becoming Old Snake playing MGS3 in VR. I think that's why it has a little time paradox thing. Like, Otacon and Campbell will yell at you if you get a time paradox in Snake Eater and say, Snake, what have you done? You created a time paradox. Oh, that sucks. Noodles. I love noodles. Dun, 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 dun. Maybe we need to be one floor up. So looks like where we need to be. Shit. Level 3 warning. Metal Gear 2 Solid Snake. Using Konami's custom sound chip. That's cool. They had a custom sound chip on the NES as well. Basically, there's extra pins on Konami NES cartridges. I guess not all of them, but like the later Castlevania games in particular. So they could play more than the basic tracks, but not actually a pressable button. So if you want to get into chip tuning using like, the original Fami tracker, you can opt into some of those additional chipsets in the cartridge that Konami used to get a richer sound, more instruments. And another mine. Like, being able to buy stuff from Drebin is kind of cool, but I also really missed having more authored loot where like each gun upgrade felt really significant. It wasn't just because you got enough points to get it. It rewarded exploration in a cool way, even if it was silly stuff like, you know, the poop camo and Snake Eater. You're never going to use that in practice, but it's neat to find that it has that developer-player handshake. The Korok seed, if you will. Some games can achieve the feel of the Korok seed by just having achievements or something and say, hey, this is kind of secret. Good for you for finding it. MGS5 has cool unlockables. That was an interesting empty building.
Drop your weapon!
Hey, it's Johnny.
Drop your weapon!
He's blonde.
All right. Here.
Easy now. Don't move.
You haven't even taken the safety off, rookie.
This is like the
Careful.
Meryl
I'm no
scene.
rookie. I'm a 10-year vet.
10-year vet. I feel like the flashback thing wasn't really necessary.
How the hell did you ever survive 10 years?
It's kind of fun when you just remember on your own.
CQC, real big boss, huh?
CQC.
Lower your weapon!
Poor Johnny.
Slowly now. I wouldn't try anything funny if I were you.
Fox.
Snake?
What?
Snake.
I did not remember Meryl being in this game. So I was asking Metal Gear Solid 1, what's the canon ending? Is it that you save Meryl? Apparently, yes. I'm sure people were like, didn't he say he played Metal Gear Solid 4? Yeah.
Your face.
Accelerated aging.
Accelerated aging?
Oh my god.
Like her bullet earring.
Meryl, you're my informant in the U.S. military.
And you must be the inspector sent by the UN.
I'm wondering if that's a bad thing. That, like, I blocked this game out of my memory. Or something. I definitely only ever played it once, so I was disappointed.
Commander! Sorry.
This is Rat Patrol Team 01.
They're Rat Patrol.
We're with the CID, one of the bodies investigating PMC activity.
First hounds, now rats.
The Super Sentai pose.
You can have this back.
to tell real people don't do that.
What is your problem?
I have to wonder, like, it's so prevalent in Japanese fiction that...
Stomach pains? Diarrhea?
Do you think that, you know, police officers or a special task force on teams and offices in Japan will just, like, do that pose together in pictures? It's not weird to them. Yeah, normal people do that.
Arrived in the area. And since then, this woman's been with him. She doesn't look like a combatant. Probably some kind of advisor. Maybe a scientist.
Oh. Your focus sucks, Snake.
So, you're the commander of this O1 unit.
Why? Something wrong with that? Here, I'll introduce
Is there
you to
like
the team.
positional audio in
That's
this
Ed, our
game?
radio man and sniper.
Check the sound settings.
Sleeping giant is Jonathan.
That's pretty goofy.
Don't stand behind him. He hates it when people go around his back.
Jonathan and Johnny.
And finally, Johnny. Everybody just calls him Akiba.
Akiba. Seems like a weird
finished
thing.
installing the sensors.
People to call him. Yeah, Walter White glasses would be perfect.
Okay, Akiba. Anyway.
What does Akiba mean in Japanese?
You're all grown up.
Maybe it's because someone taught me well.
It's like having the
Legendary
imported
hero
Japanese squeaking
suddenly
sand from
disappeared.
Osaka. And
You quit the unit.
something that's randomly Japanese in the middle of the story.
I never gave up on you. Or on Foxhound.
Well, now I'm super old, so what are we gonna do about that?
And I just wanted you to accept me. I wanted you to turn around and see who I was. But I've put the past behind. I'm done playing little love games. So, what are you here
Love
for?
games.
Threat assessment. The PMCs.
Really? Because I heard a rumor there's an assassin out there targeting their leader.
All the PMCs have a leader?
I'm only here because the UN wants me to assess the impact and effects of PMCs on their refugee protection efforts.
He's got a pretty good job.
That's all.
When did he get...
More than enough for a retired vet like me.
Okay. Maybe they'll
I
explain
know he's
that.
plotting an insurrection. But as long as AT Security's system is in place...
Snake was like a massive threat to
no
global
way
security at
he'll
the end of Metal Gear Solid 2, and now he's working for the UN.
How can you be so sure?
They've implemented a system...
Oh,
that
it's shorthand
monitors
for
in real
Akihabara?
time every
Oh.
single soldier engaged in combat action.
Weird.
Whether he's State Army or PMC. Each individual soldier has been fully ID tagged with nanomachines injected into their bodies for that purpose. The nanomachines keep track of the soldiers and their real-time personal data 24 hours a day. They monitor each man's position, movement speed, reserve ammo, firing accuracy, wounds, rations, water intake and supply, sweat secreted, heart rate.
I can try to
blood
watch it
pressure,
after
and
this
sugar levels,
this name. I must
oxygen.
not have watched it when I played it
All
the first
data
time
gathered on body condition,
in 2008
sensory
either.
organ data showing pain and fear, data on every internal response within the body. All of it is collected by an AI at the system's core. This data is monitored at HQ to enable command to make quicker, more precise, more rational decisions. It also enables crisis management for each individual soldier. It's being used by the US military, by state armies in allied countries, by PMCs. Even police agencies are starting to adopt it. Unless they agree to implement the system, PMCs aren't permitted to send troops anywhere.
You've got these system nanomachines in you too.
Of course. Our unit plays by the rules, same as everybody else. It was creepy at first, knowing you're being watched 24/7, but I've gotten used to it. It gives us a lot of advantages in the field, too. We get a clearer picture of what's going on around us, so there's less confusion during missions. And our nanomachines
Definitely start to have this like philosophical question that if AIs can run that much of combat, at what point do we just stop using human soldiers? Or like, is it necessary for human life to be sacrificed for war to be meaningful? Like, is it possible for us to have robots fight robots and have it matter? Probably not. Like, you need to like have the psychological effect of family members dying.
On someone else's behalf. They're mercenaries, a commodity. So it's easy to imagine them betraying their clients by joining the enemy or refusing to fight, or committing humanitarian atrocities. To keep these things in check, they ensured that no one can use firearms or military vehicles without the proper system ID.
I got instantly hacked.
Every piece of equipment out there. So even if the PMCs tried to mount a terrorist attack or coup d'etat, their weapons and equipment would automatically be locked out. They wouldn't be able to move, attack, or engage in combat of any kind.
I haven't watched Gundam Wing.
All the data on their position, personnel, and combat strength is leaked to us by the nanomachines. Even if they manage to circumvent the system by getting the nanomachine...
I don't think that there's a clean break, though. Like, as you integrate AI more and more into combat, there's not going to be like, okay, now it's fully automated, right? You start to have those questions much earlier.
Never mind.
Okay, so you say the Patriots, and she says Lolly Lule Lo.
Call it SOP.
Sons of the Patriots.
The AI that controls it is a tightly guarded secret, both at Arms Tech Security, where it was developed.
If I press start now, I'll pause the cutscene without canceling it.
Third party could get control of it.
I just met a guy who said he can launder ID guns. The system does have holes.
There can't be more than a few hundred of those gun launderers. It's just a grassroots movement. It's not like they can affect the entire PMC war machine.
Okay.
Anyway,
there's the lampshade.
Liquid would have had to register as a PMC in the system to assemble an army that massive. His PMCs might even exceed the US military in terms of numbers, but as long as they're registered, their soldiers' activities are constantly being monitored. So long as the US responds immediately when Liquid makes his move, we can take them down by
Yeah, if it was like one guy, that'd be one thing.
When RSOC heard about Liquid's plans, they sent us to sniff around the PMCs. Even with this SOP keeping an eye on things, there are always trouble spots to deal with.
No human in the loop rule.
Disorderly conduct, disobeying orders, contract violations. We act as backup for the system by monitoring the soldiers. PMC inspections are always carried out on the battlefield. That's why we're authorized to carry and use weapons.
So do we not even have like automatic defensive turrets? Is that fantasy?
Cover inside Liquid's PMCs.
Then, if you got caught,
we'd be exterminated like rats. But we're smarter than that. We've been mingling with the PMCs, and after 3 months of searching God knows how many battlefields,
you got other things like landmines and other traps that you have to ask the question, like, how is having a robot with a gun that shoots something that identifies as hostile different than putting a claymore down? Like, it might even be better at not blowing up a child than a claymore would be, right?
Didn't the Colonel tell you he was sending me?
Colonel? Don't tell me it's Campbell.
Yeah.
He put you up to this?
You didn't know.
You've got to be kidding. You expect me to work with my uncle?
I guess we never talked about her relationship with her uncle in MGS1, did we?
Meryl.
This is bullshit. He's not my father.
You tried not elbowing rebar. Yeah, right, Tukupo? It's not a measured response, Meryl.
Meryl. So, you knew.
Little violation of the need-to-know rule.
Then why are you still calling him Uncle?
You're still calling him Colonel.
He's your father.
As far as I'm concerned, we're still uncle and niece. I will never forgive that womanizing piece of shit.
Meryl.
Oh no, I see why we use minds. I'm just saying that, like, I feel like that creates a philosophical conundrum, because it's kind of the same idea, right? Fundamentally, what's the difference between an AI with a gun pointed at something and a mind?
Got a kid. It's as if he's given up on making up with his own daughter. Men. Selfish, egotistical pigs.
Complicated gradient.
Commander.
I'm the one in charge of the radio. We're not using...
There's 20 of them. And they're not from that PMC praying mantis either.
Praying mantis.
It's the frog.
His private troops.
Oh crap. This is not good.
Were you being followed?
I feel like Johnny had stomach issues. Well, maybe he had them all the time, but...
Akiba!
They might have seen the reflection off my scope lens.
10-year veteran.
Whoa, wait, hang on. You guys think it was my fault?
I mean, you just said... Why don't they just...
No. Oh, it wasn't my fault. I swear. It wasn't my fault. Oh, man. Oh, look,
Dumbass. We're moving out.
Meryl, where's
What is the value he brings to this team? I mean, I like him. He's funny, comic relief, but...
Follow me.
Power book. Yeah. I didn't remember this game being so anime. I didn't remember this game being so anime. Robot ninja zombies roll in and hold their weapons in unison.
Eye contact. These guys are with Liquid's private army. Shoot first, think later. We'll use the stairs and get out through the back door on the first floor. We'll change the route as necessary. I'm on point. Stay close. Got it?
Got it.
Akiba, breathe deep.
Got it.
We've got a
All
real live
sneaking
legendary
suits.
hero with us. Try not to choke.
She's talking to me, by the way. So maybe Kojima was okay with you playing as Snake again because he's old and if he makes any mistakes, that's probably the problem. No, you guys are actually pretty good at that, aren't you? Impressive. They do all seem to be women. Interesting. So they're not ninjas, they're that other thing that's like a lady ninja? What's the name I'm forgetting?
Snake, you've got to keep up with the 01 unit.
Okay, alright. Thought I was running ahead. That's why this area is so empty, because we're supposed to do a mission with them. Okay. I think these ninja ladies only spawn Kunoichi. There's a trap that hit them. Very nice. I guess I disabled all their traps when I was coming up here. If I had left the traps behind on my way out of here... Oh, did she just CQC me? That's cool. Nice. Cyborg Goichi. They could have been half and half, right? Alright, back to Cold War Judo. This is how the Cold War was really fought. Come on and slam, and welcome to the jam. Nice try. Shit. Oops. Where's my team? I'm back here somewhere. Alright, where are y'all? We're down around here somewhere. Let me see if I can find you. There we are. I guess this fight you're like meant to sneak up behind them in most cases. I'm helping! Oh wow, ration heal for a ton of this game. Ow. Oh, the Drebin loot. Let's sneak through. Here we go. It's cool because it's kind of a boss fight. Against a bunch of ninja ladies. Oh, that's interesting. Their bodies, like, turn to dust? Wow. They had weird fucked up faces too. They might be zombies. I don't actually remember. Kind of zombie. That's true. Alright. Come on and slam. Where are we going, guys?
Clear!
Legendary warrior. You going up or down? What's the plan? Down. Zombie, vampire, frog, cyborg, ninja lady type. Contact. Across the way. Okay. How do footsteps sound work in this game? Like, if I'm crouch walking like this, am I making less sound? Am I less visible in general?
Hold on, Snake. One of Akiba's traps is still in the way. It's set too deep in the wall for the Mark II to get at it. You'll have to wait until Akiba gets there to disarm it.
Go in your pants. It will be fine. I don't think I can reach them for Command and Slam shenanigans, can I? It's too bad. Wish I could pop up. So sleepy. I can't look on the side either. Beat it, Stinky. Do I have other options that are non-lethal? We could hit all these guys at once, like a stun grenade or something. Smoke grenade. Sleep mines. Yeah, well. Howdy. Y'all are ridiculous, you know that? Did they move on already? They must have moved on without me. Maybe they'll go clear the trap.
Here, Snake, take this.
Well, there's still music in 3, but it's only when you're actually in combat, so... You spend a lot of time trying to not get into combat.
Snake, Akiba's been knocked out.
Can you not do that? Hey, new gun. I think I saw another one sneaking in over there. Oh, good job. Wrecking shit over there.
Get your ass up!
Should do a remake of Metal Gear 1 where like you fight Big Boss and he uses a bunch of crazy CQC on you. I don't think they need to change much with the Metal Gear 1 remake though. Okay, so like Johnny's into technology now and that's why he's Akiba. Gross. That's why they need him. A cool wearable computer.
Akiba, get over here!
Bad on your knees. White phosphorus grenade. Yeah, I haven't really had a codec conversation in the whole game. It's pretty much just been Otacon, hasn't it? Instead of having like 6 people.
The enemy sent in a squad to hunt you down. You've got to get out of there as fast as possible. There won't be any way out of the building until at least the second floor.
There's a ton of super optional content in Snake Eater, right?
Get to the exit.
There's like 6 or 7 sequences of dialogue for just about every boss and most items you can find from talking to different characters at different parts of the game. You could just never use the codec and get through Metal Gear 1, 2, and 3 just fine. Whoa. I can see why they got rid of it, but it's still a bummer. I would like to be able to jump over this thing. I'm actually held back by having cover in this game. There might be more enemies in this sequence than like you deal with in almost all of Metal Gear Solid 1. Press up against the bar, but I can't jump over it.
What the hell you doing?
What you doing, Akiba? Of the exclamation point Mohawk.
Hey.
Don't that you're gonna get it on your boots, dude. You already shoot your pants, so I do like the way they bring you out of cutscenes in this. Pretty stylish. Kind of like how when Final Fantasy X started transitioning in and out of cutscenes with battles for the first time. Didn't just have canned battlefield zones you would fight in. Explaining to Andrea that it's actually pretty impressive for its time when you think about like how Final Fantasy IX handled battles. In the case of Metal Gear Solid, though, I feel like it's just Kojima finally saying, okay, let's do games somewhat the way other people do them. Let's have L1 be aim and R1 be shoot. Let's get rid of the authored camera. I think that was somewhat controversial with the community when this game came out, kind of like when Resident Evil got rid of the tank controls, not being able to shoot while moving. She's pretty dead, dude. I wonder why I went with having both Jonathan and Johnny. Oh, they're spooky ghosts. Yeah, he's like, this is fine. She's engulfed in ethereal flame. That's pretty normal.
The nanomachine network inside each unit member's body lets us share each other's senses. They can see what I see. And it helps control pain.
That seems hard for your brain to be able to manage.
Is that part of the system, too?
With SOP, my team can literally operate as one. Well, except for a certain someone who's not much of a team player. So, what do you think? Is your age of heroes finally over?
Age of Heroes.
I'm no hero. Never was. Never will be.
Old Man's War.
You haven't changed at all, Snake.
Tank controls mean you need to move forward, and then if you want to turn, you have to stop and turn your whole body, then you move forward.
Are you gonna
like
be all
Ryo
right?
and Shenmue has tank controls.
This get-up doubles as a muscle suit. I can still get around.
You can only ever move forward. You can't like strafe or...
Liquid's camp is up ahead. I'll mark it on your map.
Thanks.
But like in Resident Evil, the older ones, main character will like stand still
One man's blunder can
and
compromise
then
the whole
pivot
team.
extremely slowly and then move
Sorry,
forward.
Commander.
Now, not every game will even let you move backwards. You can't move backwards in Shenmue.
Be careful, Snake.
Four has tank controls too. I only played it for an hour during Subblock. I didn't remember it being as severe as like RE2. Maybe they just built the level design to make it more tolerable.
Otacon, I know where Liquid is.
Yeah, I'm confirming the location. It's to the north of where you are. Meryl's really changed, hasn't she, Snake? She's a lot more self-assured.
I wonder how much of that has to do with the system. The senses you used to develop through extended training and experience can now be obtained without even working for them.
Oh my god.
Seems once you're under the system,
Old Snake is a
you don't even
fucking
need experience at all. It even beats that VR training
elitist gamer.
back.
Yeah. The growing need for
Back in my day,
PMCs
we
has
had to
led the
grind
creation
for
of a more
gear, and now
reliable,
they just give you a free
cost-effective
set
supply
when
of
you hit
elite
level cap.
soldiers. It's also made the child
Everyone should have to suffer the way I chose to
problematic than
suffer.
ever.
Can the nanomachines do anything to counteract post-traumatic stress disorder?
Good question.
Johnny's a different character.
They might
He's been in
provide a
all the
degree
Metal
of
Gear.
psychological
He's in Metal Gear
stability.
Solid 1, 2, and 3.
Think so? That geek kid, Akiba, he was really starting to lose it.
And technologically, the system should be able to optimize each soldier's personality traits.
And that big guy, he didn't seem to be feeling any pain at all.
Augmenting the soldier's existing experience.
Ryan
and
didn't survive the end of
psychological
MGS2.
fortitude.
We haven't
But a
seen it.
soldier's gotta
We
have
saw his
more
voice
than
actor
that.
listed in the opening
Times have
credits.
changed, Snake. Just like Meryl. Snake, hurry to the PMC camp.
No Kadala
Based
and
on
Snake's
what Meryl told
Diablo.
us,
Yeah.
Liquid should be there.
Johnny's never been an important character. He's been a throwaway, like, joke character. So it's interesting that he's been, like, in more than a cutscene already, has advanced in quite a
time
bit.
to head for the surface.
I'm actually going to save and then see if I can see this pre-Act 1 briefing that Snake was talking about. Back out and see here. Alright, let's see. Mission briefing. In Metal Gear Solid 3, it's a related Johnny. They don't. I think Kojima dropped that idea, Sornus. He was really worried about it in Metal Gear Solid 2, and he was like, whatever. We'll just, have him be a stand-in to the player again and explain it all to you. Yeah, I don't think I've ever seen this before. I mean, I wouldn't know. I don't remember anything from this game. I should have opened with this, so well. Now we'll get some backstory.
Only 2 eggs today? Solidus must have taken the day off. 7, 8.
We saw this earlier. He's senile.
3, 6, 0, 3, 3, 0, 5, 3, 0, 5, 4, 8, 8, 2, 4, 6, 6, 5, 2.
0118999. Okay, I'll try to be wary then. So we're doing
triggered a serious public
makeup
backlash.
subblock.
Now the U.S. has to think twice before intervening militarily in other countries' affairs. This has fueled a push towards military privatization, with PMCs at the heart of that movement.
I wonder if they cut this by accident.
Private military companies.
That's right.
Because they still had the
PMCs have
weird
no
scene
basis in
with
nations or
the little girl
ideologies.
singing.
They are private enterprises, driven by profit. In addition to dispatching mercenaries to war zones, they
Maybe it's a
secure
bug that it
weapons
didn't
and
play?
train local soldiers. They're contractors for war itself, and business is good. Their clientele includes developed nations like the U.S., rebel factions looking to seize power by force, smaller countries lacking armies of their own, even terrorist groups. They're in the Americas, Asia, the South Pacific, Europe, Africa, the Middle East. The rise of the PMC has spawned a war by
I don't remember this at all. That must be Sunny.
across the globe.
Looks like Olga.
Sonny, we'll eat them later, okay?
Every age has its mercenary. These PMCs are nothing new. We've been dealing with them since before the turn of the century.
Dude, I have some kind of bug in my brain where if someone has a stutter, like the deepest empathy chemicals trigger,
I'm a little busy right now.
I feel really, 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 really bad for them. And like, if someone ever makes fun of someone with a stutter in a movie, it's an instant way to make me hate that character. It's an extremely strong feeling, and I don't know where I got it.
And the PMCs of today. The system was developed by Arms Tech Security.
Eat her eggs, one of you assholes!
You mean AT Corp?
Yeah. In recent years, AT Corp
His pants are pulled up higher because he's old.
development to security tools. And since the
Oh my
establishment
God.
of AT
Eat her
Security,
eggs.
business has been booming.
Swear to God, if one of you
System makes
motherfuckers
it
doesn't eat her
possible to
eggs.
integrate not only micro-level information on individuals,
Oh, why are we watching this?
but
This is
also
torture.
macro-level information about field conditions and order of battle.
So they've finally achieved total real-time battlefield control.
That's right.
Total
And as a
real-time
result,
battlefield control.
the global presence of PMCs has grown explosively. Truth is, the rise of system-controlled PMCs
That seems
has
unnecessary,
led to a
Otacon.
dramatic decline in civilian casualties and human rights
He's the game developer that puts in a bunch of stupid little mini systems before having the full thing designed.
Nice propaganda.
Maybe it is Olga's baby. I guess I'm not totally clear on the time passage from Metal Gear Solid 2 to 4. It's of order 5 years, 10 years? Meryl doesn't look like she's aged at all.
Snake! You were smoking again, weren't you? This is a non-smoking flight.
There's more.
One way to grant a perfect character shield that bypasses my usual desire for children to be in danger in fiction is to give them a stutter. Like, nothing bad should ever happen to Sonny.
PMCs, by comparison, reliable,
God.
easy to use. It wasn't long before everybody had them on the payroll.
An unwinnable situation.
And as a result,
Marstead's
regular
Kobayashi
began
Maru.
to decline worldwide. It's hard to believe, I know, but PMCs are beginning to overtake conventional armies in terms
I don't
of
think that
scale.
kids should die for no reason in fiction, but if you're going to go to the trouble of putting them in danger, follow through.
They already make up 60% of all combatant forces in zones of
2014.
conflict.
When was MGS2 set?
The
This
fact
name?
is, the world now depends largely on PMCs for waging its wars.
I thought it was the UN that authorized the PMCs in the first place.
The U.S. abstained from voting on that resolution. In effect, Washington was endorsing PMCs without ever revealing its true intentions. Until they got wind of the
I
uprising.
think we moved it on.
The U.S. has exported too much military power.
Okay.
And now she's paying the
So if
price.
it is Olga's
That's
kid,
exactly it.
could be like
America
6 or
has
7,
now turned
maybe.
war into a form of economic activity. Analysts are calling it the war economy, in that it's picking up the slack for the
Not
downward
that real
sloping
unrealistic.
oil market. But I, for
You
one,
mentioned it,
don't intend
Johan,
to
at the
simply
time.
stand by
I think
and
it would be
watch
funny
it
that if
happen.
404
For
was
the PMCs, market expansion
quote not
entails
found.
fanning the flames of war.
It's 405
More
now, I think,
refugees.
or 406.
Child soldiers.
Yes. Even as PMC soldiers get more specialized, they're also getting younger.
Mercenaries spun off from state armies. Unmanned weapons. Child soldiers.
Okay, so say the first picture.
A new Cold War.
There are hundreds of PMCs in business worldwide, and their
Kawaii
numbers are
child
growing.
soldier.
Currently, 5 of them are big enough to be labeled global powers. 2 in the US, and 1 each in the UK, France, and Russia. Reconnaissance has revealed that those 5 PMCs are run by a dummy corporation that acts as a single mother company. This mother company embodies the 5 largest PMCs. Her name is Outer Heaven.
Outer Heaven?
Outer Heaven.
You mean?
That's right. It's Liquid.
Liquid?
He's taken command of this immense army and is now...
I love that we're just
preparing to
pretending
unleash
like he's
insurrection.
Liquid now. We're not going to say that he's Ocelot with Liquid's arm.
His will lives on, in the body of the man once known as Ocelot. He aims to fan the flames of war even higher, to create the perfect world once envisioned by Big Boss.
Fusing 2 boss
One
enemies
world
is pretty
in which
classic.
soldiers will always have a place.
He must be stopped, before it's too late. Do you understand, Snake? Any means necessary. Just stop Liquid's insurrection. Even if it means...
killing him. You want Liquid dead. Isn't that right, Colonel?
This is very interesting.
I'm sorry. I know. This isn't justice. It's a covert assignment. A hired hit. A wet works op targeting the head of a major multinational corporation.
Okay, that's interesting. Seen like this in the briefing in Metal Gear Solid 1.
Because of the military might of the PMCs and the effect they have on the economy. War is to the 21st century what oil was to the 20th. The pillar that supports
Freeze Liquid
the
get
global
a second
economy.
solid scene.
You'll recall a rather alarming report issued by that American think tank during the Cold
Oh,
War.
is this a chance to get a free item?
One that describes
This
a
has
new
to have
model
been...
of
There must be a
protection.
bug that this doesn't play in
What
the
we're
actual
facing
game.
now is a whole new ball game.
That or it was a
Delphi technique.
Sony request or something that I get into the action faster? I don't know.
It existed only on paper.
It seems really weird.
Reality is far more serious. The global community is concerned, but they're all too afraid of the war economy collapsing to do anything about it.
Yeah.
The UN, too.
Sounds pretty self-serving to me.
Don't smoke.
Snake. This mission isn't an order from Washington. Not like the old days. And it's not something the UN can officially sanction either.
Yeah, something's weird with the positional
But
audio
we
in
can't
this. I'll
just
see if I
look
can
the
turn it
other
off
way
after this.
While Liquid plots this insurrection. If we fail to act, he'll become the greatest threat the world has ever faced. Snake.
This should have happened when right after they got on the helicopter together
You're the only
from
man
Arlington.
I can trust.
Fine. Let's hear it.
Our intelligence on Liquid's uprising originally comes via reports from U.S. Special Forces, who were mobilized after we at the UN reported our findings. They're tracking Liquid's movements. About 18 hours ago, he was spotted in the Middle East.
There's a rebel army in the Middle East, made up of ethnic minorities, waging civil war against the regime in power.
The regime in power of the Middle East.
The core of
I
that
could have at least
regime's
made up a
army
country name like
is provided by
Zanzibar.
one of the PMCs under Liquid's control.
What about the rebels?
The local militias have hired small numbers of operators as trainers and field commanders. And of course, they've got help from the local PMCs.
Right. A proxy war between hired guns.
PMC versus PMC. A quagmire of war.
PMC.
All too typical victims of the new world economy. Snake, you'll be sneaking into the conflict zone via transport truck, disguised as one of the rebel army's hired operators.
For like 3 minutes.
Your first objective is to
You
make
all right
contact
there?
with our informants, Rat Patrol Team 01. They'll be expecting you.
Rat Patrol, huh? They sound sneaky.
They're a special forces team assigned to the Army's PMC investigation unit, CID.
I can't hear if I do that.
No. I can vouch for them personally.
Friends of yours.
You could say that.
Oh, I guess that's supposed to be your clue. Maybe it's better to watch this.
Transportation to the area will be provided under cover of a UN humanitarian aid mission, with support from the U.S. military.
After the Meryl scene.
From there on, though, you'll get no protection. And
Yeah,
no
right?
guarantees.
Snake like, eggs! How does it taste?
And you must not leave behind
Otacon's
any
a
evidence
terrible
of your
father
involvement
figure.
in the area, let alone that of the UN. If word of this ever leaked out,
Dude, Otacon,
spark a global
you're the worst. I liked you before. Eat her eggs.
Snake.
Some people's kids, man. Some
Will
people's
you
kids.
do this for me?
You can make a Sunny spin-off game. The
Will you terminate Liquid?
Tingled Rupee Adventure. I mean, there's some people's kids too. Well, I can't really blame Snake.
I don't need your money.
Some people's clones. But Otacon is no excuse.
But if you're going to spark something,
Right.
spark this.
Are we meant to believe that, like, Snake and Otacon are raising Sunny together? Like, they seem like
I'll start my own fire.
they're like life mate status as a Metal Gear Solid 2. I'm saying Otacon's parents have no excuse. Some people's kids. Maybe you wouldn't have made that happen. Wait. I hope that just means that it remembers that I watched the briefing. Okay, thank God. I didn't think about it when I hit yes. Jesus. Okay, because it's saving the fact that I got a bonus ration. Okay, that's all that was. It's like, when was the previous save file?
Okay, time to head for the surface.
What? Frog soldier doll? Oh, they are called frog soldiers. This rare item can only be found in the Middle East. Okay, the Middle East is like a level. Okay, I understand now. Oh yeah, iPod track. Which one did I get? Did it say? Oh yeah, this scene. Tara. Okay. Let's see. Can't use the iPod and the solid eye. These guys are friendly. Don't have to fight them. Great. Working on it. Or not. That's fucking teamwork. Or something. So you can find some of the stuff that's not unlocked yet, but you still have to pay him to ever be able to use the weapon, if I'm understanding correctly. I almost have enough from those in the gods. I think I do want to buy that. Someone may have said this earlier when I was asking questions. Can someone remind me how the scanning plug works? There's like a really good reason to scan people, isn't there? I just don't remember what it was. If there's this active war zone, you can even worry at all in the first place about triggering. What the fuck is happening? Triggering like alerts. Whoa! Slow moving rocket propelled grenade. Leave my tank alone. I thought it was like this game's equivalent of interrogations or something. Yeah. Come on. Oh, seriously? Come on, guys. Now I got an alert. They do. Yeah, it's like their dialogue doesn't matter, so they probably could have gotten away with just having them speak languages from the Middle East, you know? The Faranians. Nice, Yahan. Oh, you're...
Hands up.
Let me see if I can get this scanner thing. Hold on. I kind of want to see what it does. It's expensive. Scanner plug. A scanning plug. Device extracts SOP link data. Capture enemy using CQC and press triangle to access SOP link data and analyze other enemies into the system.
Find what you're looking at.
Triangle, scan. Oh, that's what it is. That's why I remember this. I think you use this a lot in Metal Gear Online. It could let you see all of the other soldiers that are on the same team, so long as you're holding the thing in there. Yeah, that's cool. Hey, how you doing, Leah? Yeah, it's pretty neat. I don't know why I remembered that so closely. I've played quite a bit of the Metal Gear Online. Javelin. Sweet. More rations. I thought that was noodles for a second. These guys are friends, not food, which is great. Any more dudes around here? Oh, awesome, Leo. Yeah, if you have any questions about getting started, feel free to reach out. Happy to help. Where were you looking to stream? That's cool, you can kind of influence their ability to push forward. I'm shooting at something down there. I don't see it though. It's a night vision goggle. Highlight beings. Oh, those guys woke back up. That's cool. That was my confusion. So they do that when you defeat all of the enemies from the other team. Oh, they've got the little hearts. They like give you stuff if they like you. They love me. Hooray! Yeah, Breath of the Wild hard mode, there you go. Let's get a capture card on Amazon. They're fairly cheap these days. Alright, so I think I have to go around. Right, once we go down. No enemies here. Yeah, you can get a USB capture card. It's a little bit, but it has higher latency, so it's not as good as a PCIe card. But we try to find one that's compatible with the Mac. Just me, your friend, Mr. Snake. I need to go down this way, but I don't see a way to do that. This is blocked off. They have to go up. Surprised the soldiers don't go out and like execute all those sleeping enemies. Here we go.
Oh ho! Perhaps I could try some rolling.
Through the building. Okay, that was it. I had to drop down. Despite being very open, this game's generally good about conveyance to get you around a level. Yeah, I'd recommend that. What the fuck is that thing? Is it a Metal Gear Panther? not remember this at all. Yeah, we're visiting Columbus and August. The Beast. Okay, so this is this game's team. Rage. Oh, that's cool. It's got the solid snakes. So they're named after emotions too. Gross. Decoy octopus. Not a decoy octopus though.
It can't be.
So one of them's telekinetic and does some puppet master shit.
Is that
Psychomantis. Gory Doc Ock. You can't just fly around nuking people and say, "Show me your rage." Like, what are they supposed to do? What do you actually expect of them? Okay, so it's an all-female boss team. One of them is a panther lady. One of them's a puppet master. One is a harrier jet. They're kind of animal-themed-ish. Okay. Trying to find the theme here. I would have said animals. Puppet Lady is not an animal person, though. I mean, one of them said rage, and one of them keeps laughing, so it might be another emotion thing. Maybe it's a mix of all of the things from the other Metal Gear games. One of them's basically Psychomantis. Two really shitty Pokemon. Oh, the panther was crying? I didn't catch that. What was the puppeteer Psychomantis one? Was it have any clear emotion? Kojima, you already did this. It's free money, that's pretty great. Serving unmanned vehicles are the cow gecko. Yeah, Otacon, I'm getting loot, dude. Somebody fancies himself a Navi Fee character over here. Alright, Mosin Nagant, please. Yeah, let's do it. It's like, what is it? Super Princess Peach, where she has the Vibe Rod that gives her the powers of all of her emotions. Oh my god, it's bad. In this case, he already did the team is all named after emotions and Snake Eater. I guess except for the end. The emotion of not existing anymore. Floating one wasn't clear other than reminding us of Mantis. That's fair. Ah, the lack of quick reload. Nothing about an enemy, you're fine. Chill out. I feel like the new ammo system also makes it so you don't really have to manage Like, from a game design perspective, they don't have to make sure that they give you every kind of ammo throughout the whole game, because you can always just buy it. So there's this basic gun ammo equivalency. That's cool. There's a fucking guy. Of course there is. You didn't see anything. Now, how do alerts work in this game? Like, it used to be that if an enemy detects you, they don't trigger an alert as far as the game tracks them until they, like, call in on their radio. But since this game doesn't really have the radio effect as much, maybe it's because everybody's connected through SOP, they all automatically know, so it counts as an alert no matter what, once you trigger one. Yeah, just fight all of them immediately. Snake's like, I can handle this. Suppressor for the M4. That's good. At least get some better camo here. Gotcha, but if they see you at all, it counts as an alert, whereas you get a split second to avoid it in the other games, as far as your playthrough stats are concerned. Let's see.
Huh? Who was that?
Nothing to see here. Move along. Can't really detect if he's out there, can I? Can I, like, peek a little bit? Because my radar, I can kind of assume that that's a person. The guy who was here before is fairly long gone now. Oops. You can peek. Is there a different button you have to press to peek? Update my camo. Play dead doesn't seem to affect your camo rating. Maybe it's good for other reasons. Hello. A guard I just saw over here. Let me see where he went though. Thanks for the heads up. This name. Yeah, it'd probably be good to go ahead since it didn't take me a few minutes to switch to sub-block to get started doing that now. Good looking out. Cool, folks. Metal Gear Solid 4 will return next week. Give me a few minutes to get set up. We're gonna wrap up stream today with Valiant Hearts, The Great War, People's sub-block. Back in a little bit.